That night my father's words ripped through me like a knife. "You were my biggest regret." My mother, colder than ice, added, "Don't bother calling us again." But I had a secret weapon, a quiet bomb I was ready to detonate right back. "Don't bother calling the bank when you can't make payments I've been covering." The dining room air crackled. My phone buzzed, but my mother just stared into her teacup, unfazed by her husband's emotional detonation across from her. My dad's face was scarlet, trembling with rage, a vein in his temple throbbing violently, threatening to burst. He slammed his hand on the table, silverware scattering. It was a guttural roar, the culmination of years of resentment aimed squarely at me. This wasn't his first furious tirade. Oh no. But I knew with a certainty that settled deep in my bones, it would be the last. And for the first time I didn't cry. Not like when I was 11, shattered by his declaration that I'd ruined his chance at a better life. Not like when I was 17, when he spat that I'd never be anything more than a burden. And certainly not like when I was 20, when he screamed I owed them everything because they didn't abort me when they had the chance. No. This time a quiet, almost amused smirk touched my lips. I'd been waiting for this exact moment. I'd been planning it meticulously for years. All those endless years of being their scapegoat, their convenient target. All those bitter accusations, accident, failure, dead weight. Every second, I had quietly, relentlessly been building my escape. While they believed I was going nowhere, I was saving every penny from under-the-table freelance jobs. I was taking online classes, working through nights, pretending to sleep, mapping out my future. They thought they had me trapped. They had no idea I had already left. And that night, as my dad's final venomous words echoed, I simply stood. No shouting match. No tears. I calmly pushed my chair in, grabbed my jacket, and said nothing. My mother finally looked up, her voice sharp as glass. "Don't you dare come crawling back. You walk out that door, you don't ever return." I paused at the doorway. My phone was already buzzing. My Uber, scheduled 2 hours ago, was waiting. Without turning around, I simply said, "Cool. Good luck paying the mortgage." Then I walked out. They had no clue. No idea how close they were to defaulting on everything without me. They didn't know I'd been secretly covering nearly half their bills for almost a year. I had the bank transfers to prove it. Anonymous, silent, just the way they preferred it when it came to their pride. I had protected their image and in return, bought my way into their fleeting silence. But not anymore. Out in the driveway, the Uber pulled up, a beacon of my new reality. As I got in, my phone lit up. Not a call from them. No desperate apology. Just a simple, beautiful message. "Your lease has been approved. Welcome to Raleigh." I smiled then, a genuine, profound smile. Not the cold, bitter smirk I'd given them. This one tasted like freedom. The car ride felt impossibly long. I kept replaying that final moment. The bewildered look on my father's face when I didn't flinch. The sharp, hollow silence from my mother, her weapon of choice. But this time it hadn't worked. As the Uber curved through my old neighborhood, I glanced at the familiar streets, the ones I'd walked so many nights, desperate for escape. They looked smaller now, tired, like a stage set after the play has ended. The driver stayed silent, and I was grateful for the quiet. My phone buzzed again, messages trickling in. "Mom, unbelievable. After everything we've done for you. Dad, you're acting like a child. Grow up and come back. Mom again, don't ever return. You hear me? You're dead to us." I didn't respond. I didn't even read the rest. I just blocked the numbers one by one. By the time we reached the motel, I felt like I'd shed an entire skin. The place wasn't fancy, just a one-night stopover, but the key card felt like a gold medal. The room smelled of cheap cleaning spray and linoleum, and I absolutely loved it. I set down my bag. Just one backpack, containing everything that mattered. My entire life now fit into it because I'd been packing it mentally for years. A knock on the door startled me, but it was just the pizza guy. I'd ordered it the second I got in the Uber. It was the first real meal I'd bought for myself without guilt. Maybe ever. That night, I ate greasy pepperoni in bed, watching bad hotel cable, listening to the buzzing silence of a phone that would never ring again. Not from them. The lease confirmation had come through earlier than expected. I'd signed it using a P.O. box under a fake middle initial. Another layer of insulation. I had enough saved to pay 3 months rent up front plus deposits. My new job was waiting 2 states over. Remote tech support, full-time, benefits included, starting in 4 days. I built it all behind their backs. Every interview whispered after midnight. Every resume update done when they thought I was wasting time online. They said I was lazy, ambitionless. They were wrong. And now they wouldn't get a chance to rewrite that narrative. I curled up under the stiff motel blanket, pizza box still open, and for the first time in my life, I slept with the light off and the door locked from the inside. I dreamed of peace. By the way, if you're still with me on this wild ride, and you want to hear more stories about breaking free, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. The sun was barely kissing the horizon when I slipped out of the motel. No checkout, no goodbyes. I just dropped the key card and walked towards the bus station. I wanted to be truly gone before they stirred awake and realized the chilling implication of good luck paying the mortgage. Because they never understood, they were profoundly catastrophically broke. They'd quietly accumulated mountains of debt, credit cards, sneaky refinancing, even shady loans. Yet somehow they always stayed afloat. How? Because I was their silent anchor. It started small, a few $100 here and there with my dad's familiar line. Your mother's medication wasn't covered. Guilt always dressed as a plea. Eventually it snowballed into thousands. I was covering their bills and they never noticed because I never let them. That was my mistake. I thought if I kept patching the cracks, maybe they'd finally see me as more than a disappointment. But they never did. The moment that crushing realization hit, that they never would, that's when I started to pull away. Quietly. Strategically. I opened a separate bank account, restructured freelance work, created an alias email for job applications. They were blaming me for things from when I was 12, oblivious I was building a new life 3 states away. The bus ride out of town was long, but with every mile the air in my lungs felt lighter. My chest expanded. I pictured them waking up expecting normalcy. Then the emails. Bounced payments, overdue notices, the chilling realization their human bandage was gone. The bank would confirm the automatic draft was canceled, my co-signer account closed. No more invisible lifeline. I took care of it before I even left. They'd think it was petty revenge, but for me it was a mercy. A final stark act of honesty. As the bus hummed, I finally allowed myself to think. They needed me, but I never needed them. I got off the bus just after dusk. The city felt immeasurably bigger in all the right ways. No ghosts here. Just clean air, unfamiliar streets, and a tangible feeling of possibility. The leasing office left keys in a lockbox. I held that tiny silver key for a long, quiet moment before unlocking the door. The apartment was quiet, unfurnished. The floorboards creaked, but it was mine. I dropped my backpack and stood in the middle, letting the profound silence wash over me. For the first time, I didn't have to listen for footsteps or slamming doors, or my father muttering about what a burden I was. No one here thought I was a burden. It was just me. That night, I made a makeshift bed out of my hoodie and sweaters. Ordered Chinese takeout, eating it on the floor. Then my phone lit up. Curiosity got me. It was from my mom. Don't ever return. I typed back, cool. Good luck paying the mortgage. Then I blocked her number. No drama. Just facts. She didn't deserve my anger anymore. They'd gotten it all for free for years. Now they were in free fall. Another lease confirmation arrived. The universe ensuring this wasn't a fantasy. I was here. I set the phone down, curled into my makeshift bed. It hit me then like a slow, shuddering exhale after holding a breath too long. I was free. Scared? Absolutely. But free. The next morning I woke before the sun. Years of tension had trained my body to rise early, bracing for something. But now? Just silence. It wasn't heavy. It was light, full of space and possibility. I had no furniture, just a few clothes, my laptop, a second-hand coffee maker. But I had peace. And for once that felt like enough. That morning I started my new remote tech job. People who didn't care about my family name, my past, or whether I was the mistake that ruined everything. During a break I checked email. 17 unread messages, all from my mom. Subject line screamed, "You're being ridiculous. This is all your fault." I stared at them, proof of what I'd escaped. Then the last one. "You were supposed to save us." There it was. No sugarcoating. Just the raw truth of how they'd always seen me. Not a son. Not a person. A lifeline. A tool. Clicked it. The message was short. "You were supposed to save us. You owe us that. Don't forget where you came from. We were there when no one else was." I sat with it. Then I typed back. "You were there but you never showed up. And I don't owe you for surviving what you put me through." Then I blocked her email, my father's and my sister's. Deleted the family group chat. I wasn't going back. The ghosts of that house were trying to follow me, but I wasn't leaving breadcrumbs. The first few days in this new city felt like someone had turned down the volume knob of my life. No shouting. No guilt tripping. I could finally breathe. The apartment was still empty, but it felt bigger. I'd gone from a monitored house to a space entirely mine. Even the quiet hum of the fridge felt like a luxury. That Thursday, another unknown number called. My sister. Her voice was hesitant. "They're saying it's your fault," she began. "That you stole from them and left them high and dry." What was there to say? I stopped covering their bills, if that's what you mean. The silence on her end was telling. You were covering their bills? How much? Half the mortgage, most utilities, car insurance, medical copays. Since I was in high school, really? She exhaled a long breath. "They told everyone you just abandoned them." Of course they did, I said. That was their narrative. Why are you calling? I finally asked. I don't know, she admitted. I guess I wanted to hear your side. They've been calling me daily, saying they're losing the house. Dad's talking about moving in with me. I understood. She wasn't calling for me. Their problem was about to become her problem. I can't help you, I said quietly. I'm done being their solution. I'm not asking you to help them, she quickly clarified. I need to know if they deserve it. My sister, removed for years, was asking if our parents deserved help. What do you think? I asked. I think they're exactly who they've always been. And I think you finally got tired of it. Acknowledgement. Someone else saw it. Yeah, I said. That's pretty much it. Are you okay? She asked. Getting there, I said, and I meant it. Before we hung up, she said, I got out too, just in a different way. But I never had the courage to cut them off completely. It wasn't courage, I told her. It was survival. I added her number to my contacts. A tiny door left cracked open. The next day, Friday, marked 1 full week of freedom. To celebrate, I splurged on a real bed. A twin mattress in a box. When it expanded, it felt monumental. That night, I slept on a real bed for the first time in my new life. No more makeshift pile of clothes. I spread out, taking up as much space as I wanted, and fell into the deepest sleep I'd had in years. The weekend brought more small victories. A second-hand desk and chair. A shower curtain I chose myself. A little succulent. Sunday evening, another email. Your parents need you. From my Uncle Joe, always sided with my dad. Accusatory. Your parents are about to be homeless because of your selfishness. Blood is thicker than water. I read it twice, feeling distant pity. They had no idea. They'd never seen what happened behind closed doors. I didn't reply. Blocked his email too. One by one, cutting away the anchors. Monday morning, an email from my boss. Great first week. The team is impressed with how quickly you're catching on. Praise. Acknowledgement. Confirmation I wasn't what they'd always said. I screenshot it, saved it to a folder labeled New Life. It was important to document these moments. As I sipped coffee in my company mug, looking at my slowly changing apartment, my phone buzzed with another unknown number. How many relatives did they have to enlist? I ignored it. Opened my laptop. Started work. The wall of silence I'd built wasn't perfect. They still searched for cracks, ways to pull me back. But their voices grew fainter, more distant, like stars blinking out. New voices emerged. My team lead complimenting my work. The cashier remembering me. The neighbor nodding hello. Small neutral connections free from history. In these exchanges I was just me. Not a disappointment. Not a burden. Not a bank. Just a person learning how to exist without apology. That evening after work, I sat on a park bench, watching the sunset paint the sky. A dog, children laughing. Normal scenes. I pulled out my phone, scrolled back to the last picture from my old house. A blurry shot of my bedroom floor as I packed. The last evidence of my old life. Then forward to the new. Empty apartment, window view, new desk, my plant. Not much of an album yet, but a start. From emptiness to something. From agonizing silence to profound peace. From survival to living. I put my phone away. The stars would be out soon, new constellations to learn. For the first time, I felt genuinely excited about tomorrow. Not anxious. Not resigned. But curious. What would I build next? What would I discover? Who would I become without their toxic voices in my head? I didn't have all the answers yet, but I had time now. Time and space and freedom to find out. And honestly, that was more than enough. What would you have done in my place? Have you ever had to cut ties with family to find your own peace? Tell me your story in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you think.